We are friends, digging each other, taking time to talk it over.
Hey, are we in?
Shit. Okay.
Welcome to the Lion's Den. You guys are very special. This is our golden episode.
Mm-hmm.
Golden episode because it is our 50th anniversary.
50th
This is episode number
anniversary.
50.
Well, not anniversary.
Yeah,
Episode.
50th anniversary, let's be clear. That means 50 years, so we've been doing this for
This is our
we
7
look
months.
great. I'm
Yeah.
73.
Yeah, this is
Wait.
our 50th episode.
83.
God damn it.
Close.
What are you,
I'm not a math
you doing
guy.
cat ears? What are you doing? Yeah, welcome back to the Lion's Den. Don't forget to rate and review at Apple Podcasts. Leave us a 5-star rating. Glowing, funny, crazy, weird review. We will definitely read it here on the pod. And as always, please, what is it called? Subscribe at YouTube.
You got it. You got it.
I got my words
No,
coming.
you got it.
I'm very flustered because of our guest today. Please subscribe to us at YouTube and always hit that notification bell.
Oh, bing. Sorry.
So that you know what we're coming at you. And as always, please go to patreon.com/thelionsdenpod for all your members only content. Sure to get us
Oh, cancel.
canceled.
All right. Yeah, we're flustered today because for the 50th episode.
Here's what I want to tell you.
Yeah.
Our hearts, they're throbbing right now.
Throbbing.
Should we review first?
We have throbbing hearts. And just hearts.
Yeah, just
Nothing else. Nothing else is throbbing right
nothing
now.
else
But
is
yeah,
throbbing.
let's read a review. Read a review. Get that over with.
Just get it
Yo,
over.
my penis so small it just pulsates.
All right, the review is the from The Foreigner. Spelled not like foreign. It's like foreign or so I don't know. Okay. Play a name.
Okay.
That's very
the subject
foreign.
line is finally. This is a great review. This is the type of reviews we like the really funny, like
Well,
inside
don't lead
shit.
the
you know?
reviews, but okay.
Well, get to it, goddammit.
Sorry, Will. Sorry.
Whatever. It's fine. Everything's fine. Pieces of shit. All right. Stubbed my toe, which caused a laceration just under my left big toe. I went to the doctor. He prescribed this podcast to me. Got some little toe-sized earphones and put it on said toe and started listening to the Lion's Den. 2 days later, toe is all healed up, but now is easily tickleable. Also, toe is now afraid of bees. Not sure if that's related.
I don't mind reviews like that. You know?
Those are good reviews.
Yeah, because it's like takes
They're
me a
weird.
second. You know what they're like? It's like a riddle.
And as a parent, it makes me happy because they're listening. Because I'm asking for weird, strange, odd, funny reviews.
Yeah,
This
that's true.
fucking guy came through. What's his name? Foreigner?
Foreigner?
Foreigner.
Yeah.
Foreigner.
Foreigner.
Sounds like a movie that'd be nominated for like best foreign film,
Totally.
and you know, but it'd be all American cast somehow, and you're like, whoa, man, those guys are cool. Anyway, 50th episode.
50th episode.
Why our hearts are melting.
Exciting.
Throbbing.
And we have throbbing hearts right
Throbbing
now
only
because
hearts.
today's guest is a genuine heartthrob.
Heartthrob, baby.
We had a heartthrob on today. You may recognize this guy from Walk to Remember, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, ER,
Get over
Salem,
it. Whatever it takes.
Get over
Salem.
it.
Nikita.
The list goes on. Nikita. The list goes on. On this episode, who do we have, Brent?
Shane West. He's
We
a
have-
very good buddy of mine, and been a huge fan of him as well. Love his work. One of the nicest dudes I know in my life. And he's in studios. First in studio guest we've had in so
time.
long.
Yep.
We
And,
did
we were
practice
socially
social
distanced.
distancing.
Yeah.
He's way across the room. We didn't
Yeah.
touch.
I
We
wish he
wanted
was
to touch.
closer.
Oh my God, we wanted to touch so bad. But yeah, it was a fun episode.
It was great, and he's also in a band right now called Twilight Creeps.
Twilight Creeps.
Which actually, if you wait till the end of this episode, because we get into a lot of shit, we talk about his past, how he started, into some of his movies that I'm sure some of you want to hear about, and you know that you're obsessed about. We get into some crushes. We talk about Will's problem with not being able to get into crushes,
And we talk about
and then
Britney.
Detective Jason gets into fills Shane in on
Yeah, we
the
loop Shane
Britney.
into it, which may be.
And
we
we
may never
found
hear
out
from
some
again.
shit that might actually get goosebumps, and I'm a little fucking freaked out afterward.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jason, for
weird shit.
that.
You'll find that out.
Some weird
Might have
shit.
might have dragged Shane into that
That's what
problem.
I'm saying.
And anyway, yeah, and we talked about his band and his music as well. And at the end of this episode, we're
play
gonna
the
have
single.
a song from Twilight Creeps.
Play
So,
the new single from Twilight Creeps.
Yeah, but it's a
Yo.
long and great episode. So I say we get into it.
Yeah, let's
dude.
do it. Hey guys, episode 50.
Yeah.
Shane West.
Thank you for listening. It's 50th episode anniversary. How about that?
I like it.
No? Doesn't work.
No worries.
Enjoy. It's been a while since we had a guest.
My dad
Speaking
and
of.
my dad and Edward James Olmos were roommates for a little while.
What?
Yeah.
Where did that just come from?
They lived in
Zoom in on
they,
this.
yeah. They lived in my dad was an LA guy, and he was in the music industry and stuff, but they lived together in Venice or something like that for a minute. They were in a band together.
They were in a band
And then
together,
I remember
too.
when he did Zoot Suit, when Edward James almost did Zoot Suit, he got his tickets to go, and then my dad said, and then one day he told me, he's like, hey man, I'm moving to Miami. I'm shooting this thing in Miami.
No
And
way.
then my dad was all, and I never spoke with him again.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. There's always a new nugget of information about your dad.
Yeah. I remember one time
Phenomenal.
when
Go shoot a
when I was
pilot.
a teen, might have been my early 20s or something. My dad said, hey, my dad when he was growing up, they called him Eddie James. He goes, Eddie's at Nordstrom's signing a book, doing a book signing thing. Want to go? I'm like, all right. And he goes, he might not remember me, but I'm like, all right. Immediately saw my dad. He was like, oh, what's up, Miguelon? He called him Miguelon. He's like, Miguelon. And then it was really cool.
What the hell?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Miguelo.
Miguelon.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, the song we use for the intro for this show is his dad's song.
Oh,
Yeah.
no shit. Okay.
Yep, he had a charting song in 71.
Okay.
1971, and we're using as much as we could.
How
Use of it.
much are you using? Because I remember music, but not.
It's right in the
is it
beginning.
We are 15 or
We're
Yeah.
18. I think it's just
18?
under
Oh.
18 seconds.
I almost got it.
Yeah, something
It
like
might be a legal reason.
Yeah.
Is it a legal reason?
It is a legal reason because
Even with dad?
Yep, he doesn't. He was a kid, signed a contract, signed his life away. It was
Yeah.
typical Hollywood story.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Managers
Yeah.
are living in mansions, and he's crushing cockroaches on the kitchen floor while his hits playing on the radio. Kind of thing.
I mean, we
Yeah.
probably don't even own this now. We don't even know it.
we're done.
It's gone now. It's gone.
Yeah.
It was a fun 50 episodes.
Yeah. We're in. Welcome to the Lion's Den, episode 50.
You are our 50th episode special guest.
50th
No
anniversary.
balloons,
Yeah.
We're still here.
50 years.
No balloons. Sorry, it's not in the budget.
Yes.
Not in the
It's
budget.
not in the budget.
We didn't even pay for these lights. So. We got to get these. I think these lights got to be back by 3.
We're going to have to wrap it up.
Yes, this is, and if we have an in-studio guest for the first time. I mean, I forgot the last time we had a guest.
Last time we had an in-studio guest.
Yeah. We've had
Adam
Zoom
Ray?
guests.
No, it's David Finn.
David Finn.
David
That's
Finn.
right.
That's right.
Really?
Beautiful British actor. But today we have a really good friend of mine, and it's appropriate for the 50th episode because it's hey, if you're gonna do a 50th ep, it better be a heartthrob.
Gotta have
I
the
am
homie.
50.
Gotta have the homie heartthrob.
Homie heartthrob. It should be a
Homie
tattoo.
heartthrob.
Shane West.
Shane West, talented
Hey.
singer, songwriter, actor, producer, all the other things.
Thank you.
Welcome, dude.
Thanks for having me.
Doesn't age, abs, looks
First,
fucking amazing in quarantine.
Thank
No
God for
abs.
the quarantine right now because he has nothing else to do. So you got.
There is that thing, in the beginning, everyone was panicking, doing
Yep.
nothing, drinking, eating too much.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
you
yeah.
Try and work out or do something.
Oh, I gained. I always say it. I gained that quarantine 15.
Oh, yeah,
Quarantine
man.
15.
I got the quarantine 15 going. The quarantine gut going. I gotta lose it.
These chairs don't help either. We complain
Well, if
about
you're
them
not
so
having
much.
any guests and you're not getting out, you got to get out. You got to get out of the house.
I know.
Walk around.
That's why we sit outside.
I walk
Do
every.
this,
Yep. put
walk around.
I think I walk every other morning.
Yeah. No, we get
Gym
outside.
membership done. I don't have stuff at the house.
There's no point.
Yeah. So I'm going to give a little backstory here. I've known Shane since I was basically 21. I've known you 12 years, 12, 13 years, man.
Damn.
It's a crazy long time.
Wow.
And my favorite thing about Shane is when I think I was even still in college. He's handsome as hell,
Sorry,
see?
I'm
Like,
more
I
than
gave him the
handsome.
handsome look. It actually didn't say that until he held it, which is kind of fucked up. 'Cause when I hold it, it used to just say Attack of the Blob, so I don't know what the fuck that is. I thought it was from the movie.
Oh, good B movie.
And then it was
usually
Charlie Brown
upside
one
down.
day.
Coffee
Pouring
on
out.
him.
The
Son of
coffee
a
just
bitch.
pouring all over
So
your
that's
shoulder.
good to know. But what I remember is you moved to L.A., and I think I was in college, and we have a mutual friend, Chris Paul, not the basketball player, but that'd be awesome.
That would be great.
But he ran a lot of nightclubs, and I never tried to get in them. Like you go down to Hollywood, and I would see him, and I go, I'm not even going to be the guy that they go, you get out of here, you ugly piece of shit.
Looking
That's
over
what I
people's
hear.
shoulders. Chris,
Yeah.
Chris, it's me.
He knows me.
It was just too much stress. But then Chris was like, he goes, dude, just come. All right, you can get in. Trust me. And I'm like, it took me a couple weeks to actually try it out. And I went with a buddy of mine from college and got in. And it was cool because you could sit at a table. It was like the shit you see in Hollywood. And Shane was there. And I'll admit it, there's some people that we know that just never remembered me or ignored me. But he was the first person to talk to me and was so nice to me and remembered me
like-
the next time I saw him. So
You
I
were
always
like,
remember
this,
that.
This poor guy. I gotta
I gotta
talk
help
to
this
him.
guy out.
Sitting there snapping
you
to
do?
beats off beat,
By yourself.
scared to grab a bottle.
This is a groovy party, huh, guys?
Yeah, right. What club would this?
I think it was Bardot.
Bardot. Okay.
I remember that because they had live music too. That was
That's right.
It was a good one. It wasn't. We never go to those ones that are just like. It was
Oh,
none
those
of
are
that
the worst.
crap.
No, I never felt like we ever really had that in LA.
No.
Or if we did, I wasn't aware of it.
It was on a. It was on a. It was over. It was very east.
Okay.
Like you had like there was this club called Las Palmas, but they always had a good. Even though they always had a good like hip hop room or loungy area, but you could hear through the walls and you know.
Oh yeah.
But those clubs that you're talking like Bardot, they were more like loungy and like
Yeah.
You came at the right time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
And
a
it
good time.
definitely could not like in that sometimes there's like not a line and you're just not going to get in, but I could get in and I was nervous and he always made me comfortable. Actually, there was a good group of friends there that I'm still friends with you guys that were really sweet and good. But I mean, cuz there were so many shitheads that just would ignore you if you weren't on something. You know, if you weren't on TV or some shit or a movie, and I just remember that so much, and I clock it because trust me, I clock my enemies too.
Hey, he's got a long list and a short list, baby.
Close. Keep them close.
But I always remember that, and I was like, "Oh man, this is awesome." There's somebody here that's actually nice to me.
Oh, thanks,
So
man.
I always remember that, and I was like, "He's always been a sweet, generous, awesome man."
And what you're not talking about is that you had his picture on your wall in your bedroom.
No, but my cousins did.
Oh,
that's the
learning new
funniest
stuff every day.
That's the funniest shit in the world, and I want to talk about that because Will here. We've had an episode early on that blew my mind, and I want to ask you this question too. You know what I'm going to talk about?
Child, the young crush,
Yeah, celebrity crush.
celebrity crushes
got
that we
some.
had.
And he said he's never had a celebrity crush as a kid.
Not well, kind of. I don't have the one person. I don't have like the one on the
You had a
wall.
myriad of them. Oh well.
I just had like it was just kind of vague. A few of them. It was more just like actual girls like in like went to school with. It was never like the big
Okay.
celebrity.
He had
Right.
girls that he went to school with. He had their pictures blown up to put up the
Put on the
side
wall. All
and
yearbook.
put
On the ceiling.
on the ceiling.
Right.
And that just blows their mind for some reason.
It does, because I also had crushes on girls in school. This is my argument to it. I've also had crushes on girls in school, but then there's also like Topanga from Boy Meets World, or fucking what's her name?
Phoebe Cates, man, was mine.
Phoebe Cates.
Do you know that was one of my first acting jobs? Was I'm trying to get this fly.
Did you get it?
No, because I don't want to smack the microphone. But
got
was to kiss Topanga Canyon.
Wow. I like
Boy
that you
Meets
called her
World.
Topanga
That was
Canyon.
your goal?
One of my first jobs, not my goal.
No, it was?
not my
Oh,
goal.
See, this I forgot.
But it was
Like,
one of my first jobs.
All my posters
I
come to
literally
life.
had 2 lines. Ben Savage jumped on my back, and I made out with Danielle Fisher.
Jesus, that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, I had the biggest crush on her. And I thought I was like Corey Matthews. I related to him.
Okay,
You
there
know,
you
just
go.
average kid, hot friends, and that one girl that you wanted. But he got her, I guess.
Damn,
But
wow.
but mine was
For
that,
7
and
or 8
then
years or whatever it was.
Rachel Lee Cook, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Those were my.
That's right.
Those were my kind of my girls. And you were Phoebe Cates.
Phoebe Cates was a big one for me. Yeah.
And what
Rachel
was
Lee
yours?
Cook was my first girlfriend.
Oh god damn it!
Oh,
It's like you knew his crush.
So we went from
crazy
we
because
went
she's
from
all
a
that,
fake
dude.
thing, like an acting job, to my actual first girlfriend. Yeah.
But you grew up in New Orleans.
I'm gonna leave now.
right.
you're Baton Oh, yeah, you're Baton Rouge. You're from Baton Rouge.
I am, but I was out here when I was like 11, 12 years old.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't I was finishing elementary school, doing junior high and high school, and 1 year of college out here.
So, but how did that? Because we never sat and had this talk. 'Cause
No.
it's not like we're gonna sit at Bardot and just be like. So, at the age of 11, when you moved out here,
So you were 11 when you moved to LA.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're an LA guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then every summer, what I would do is go back because my parents are divorced, so my dad still lives in Baton Rouge, and so every summer my sister and I would go back for 6 to 8 weeks and
wow.
spend the entire summer in Baton Rouge.
Oh, that's amazing.
Come back for school year here, and then
Did you like doing that as a kid, or was it one of those things where like I don't want to leave my friends, or
I did because I didn't really have any friends.
what a loser, dude! I knew it.
I mean, we moved around too much. I mean, I was kind of over Louisiana as a kid because we moved around a lot. I lost all my friends. All my friends weren't going to my elementary school. They were like living in my neighborhood. So once we moved,
Yep.
I suddenly had no contact. There was definitely no cell phones. There was definitely no texting back then.
Oh, yeah.
So that was gone. And then when we came to California, we moved to different city, I feel like every 6 months.
Really? In LA? In California?
LA. Yeah. Norwalk, Downey,
Oh, wow. We're neighbors.
Compton, Culver
Yeah,
City, Redondo Beach.
I grew up in Long Beach.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, my
Cool.
wife
Didn't
works
do
in
Long
Downey.
Beach, but I know. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Santa Fe
Yeah.
Springs.
Yep.
That whole
You
swap
know,
meet.
yep. The Santa Fe Springs swap meet. It's an old drive-in.
That's old drive-in.
I used to go get my lowrider bike parts. When I was making lowrider bikes, I would go get.
You were making lowrider
Yeah.
bikes?
So Long Beach.
I was making
That is
lowrider
so
bikes
Long
back in
Beach.
the day.
Heard that.
The LBC.
I was going to. I was getting a lot of parts at the Santa Fe Springs swap meet there.
my God.
Right off the 5.
Oh.
The big old. It's still. I think it's still an old drive-in. I think they still have the old screens up.
I feel like I saw a short circuit in that drive-in.
Oh my
I
God.
know I saw a
Circuit with
short
the
circuit
robot.
in a drive-in. It might
Short
have been
Circuit
in
was
Louisiana, but it might have been that one.
Awesome. One of my favorite songs by El DeBarge, who's Johnny, was in that.
Johnny?
Was in that movie.
Brought
Do
up
you
El
know that
DeBarge in
song?
well, he brought up that episode. You brought up that in another episode, El DeBarge. Remember?
Oh, the DeBarge family or
Yeah,
El
yeah.
DeBarge?
You kept bringing that up. When did you start acting though? Like, how did that even start?
Dude, so that was a high school, full-on high school in Los Angeles. Actually, not horribly far away, off of La Cienega and 16th, near Venice Boulevard. But it was a school called LACES, an abbreviation for Los Angeles Center for Enriched Studies, because apparently we were smart.
Oh wow.
I don't know how smart we were, but it was an interesting school. It went from like 6th grade to 12th. It was a bunch of people thrown together. And apparently Leo DiCaprio went to that school at some point. The Arquettes, I think, graduated from that school. And I think just essentially being this school that was in the middle of LA
Yeah.
brought out a lot of people that wanted to act. And there was a bunch of kids that were like walking down the hallway that I would recognize in like in a Fruit Loops commercial and things like that. And I was
That's
like,
so weird.
crap, I want to do that. That would be great.
Yeah, it has to seem realistic when you're in a math class and the person in math class is
You're like,
like,
he's in the Corn Puffs. Like, I see him every day. Yeah. And I don't know. It wasn't easy. I didn't know how to do it. Everyone had a horrible story of my mom was on jury duty and there was an agent that was in jury duty, and that's how I got my agent. I was like, okay.
wow,
Doesn't
really?
help. So I actually answered. Kids don't do this at home. Somehow it worked out, but basically I actually answered a open call to get a manager in the Fox Hills Mall.
Ooh, Fox Hills.
Yeah. And they saw like hundreds of kids, and they were totally legit, didn't ask for money, and signed me on. And it kind of went from there. But then I didn't work for like 2.5 years, but I auditioned. Like,
yeah, I was
every
gonna
day.
wonder, when did you get your first gig? Was it Boy Meets World?
First gig was actually Picket Fences. It was a TV show. I don't know if you remember.
Picket Fences.
Last season of that, I was 17. And then, at 18, I ended up getting Boy Meets World.
So once you got Picket Fence, did you start working after that? Once it all of a sudden it's like, hey, we got to get this kid going.
No.
No.
No, me and my friends, Ben Gould, who doesn't act anymore, but was on Saved by the Bell in the new class for a bunch of years. And even Aaron Paul, when Aaron Paul first came to LA from Idaho, we were becoming the kids we were the guest star kids.
Oh, okay.
The co-star kids. We were like, how many co-star, guest star credits could you get, even if it was 2 lines here or 2 lines there or whatever it was? So I was like, and we would just kind of like battle it out with each other. But we were never booking pilots. We were never booking leads. It was just that for a long time to
Wow.
kind of pay the bills. But then I lived on a couch. I lived in a garage. I lived at my manager's house. I lived at 2 managers' houses. So it took a while before anything kind of took off.
It's amazing to me. I hear these stories, and I've always felt this doing stand up and stuff, that people that grew up for most of their life and like came of age in LA and started I always feel like it takes longer for them, because then you get this guy. I just moved in from butt shit Idaho and I'm starring in a movie. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
You just show up. You just show up working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now especially when Australia, New Zealand, London,
yeah.
that kind of taking over as well too.
Yep.
It was sort of like anything that's the new thing. Oh, you have an accent? That sounds cool.
Oh yeah, it's always the new stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is kind of like, because you start trying to act when you're in a school where you're seeing people do that type of shit. It's like when people in my school in Connecticut, were snowboarding and, wanting to do those things, or BMX, you go, all right, I'm going to go do that. So it's the same one. Okay, well, that guy's got new shoes because he did a Fruit Loops ad.
Right.
So maybe I want to do that. but then now you're living on couches and managers' like houses and shit like that. So you have to, at some point, it gets past high school. You're out of that, so you have to like it now.
Yes,
to do it. So when did you like fall in love with it to be like, I want to pursue this for a career?
To be honestly, what helped me fall in love with it was failing.
Really?
It really was.
Oh, nice.
There was a lot of, there's many, there's a couple schools of thought with that where you could just use that to quit. You could use that to not, continue, which a lot of people do, and rightfully so, or it's totally understandable. But for me, it was about 2.5 years of constant auditions and constant commercial not even booking a commercial. I couldn't even book a commercial. So I was like, I'm not funny, I'm not dramatic, or I'm too dramatic, or whatever the case it was. It just wasn't working out. And for me, it kind of made me truly focus on it a little bit more. I went to Cal State Northridge for 1 year.
Oh, nice.
And when my finals came around, I booked a pilot, a comedy pilot on the WB network.
Oh yeah, before it was
the
CW for the people listening.
Yeah. And I was so stoked because I knew it was going to go. It got picked up for a mid-season replacement. I didn't do any of my finals, and I got replaced.
Oh.
I got fired, and I got replaced because
I'm picturing you walking out of class going, "Fuck you, I'm out of here."
Pretty much. I was like, I didn't even want to come to college. Cal State Northridge. What the hell?
You're cool.
Yeah, right. But no, it was kind of upsetting, But I was happy that the show lasted 2 episodes. So
Nice.
that was great.
Yeah, you have to be.
It was a little. All right, there you go. But that kind of really got me into it a little bit more, but I was still kind of having difficulty. Shockingly, the thing that turned it around for me was theater, which doesn't really make sense when it comes to film and television. But I did the Cider House Rules at the Mark Tabor Forum in downtown LA, and I had never done theater before. And I was terrified, but the director was Tom Hulse, who I was a fan of, Amadeus being one of my favorite movies. So I just wanted to impress him. Mm-hmm. And it ended up being a 4 to 5 month run, and
Out here in LA.
Wow. And the big bad CAA agency came in and signed me on the dot. I met Matthew Broderick and Sarah Jessica Parker at the premiere, and Ian McKellen. And I was like, what the hell is going on?
Jeez.
I was 19, almost 20, and that kind of shockingly kind of changed things up. But it went quick because it was a small role in a Barry Levinson film, and then I booked a pilot that ended up running for 3 years.
What pilot ran for 3 years?
It was the TV show ran for 3 years.
Yeah.
But it was called Once and Again. It was a old drama done by Ed Zwick and Marshall Herskovitz. So it was kind of like, it was the people that did My So-Called Life, 30-something, Sisters, and all that kind of
Nice.
stuff. So
I was gonna say
lucked
My
out
So-Called Life.
that was my acting class, basically.
Oh shit.
Getting to learn from those people.
So once you're doing that though in theater, and then all of a sudden CAA and Matthew Broderick and all that, and then now you're booking and you're starring in a show for 3 years, there has to be a moment of, I'm gonna blow up. You know, and you got that 90s hair, I assume.
Oh yeah, I think I have it now.
All right, well, put the
called,
whatever, dude.
You are pushing buttons.
My
that you
Rider
have no
Strong
idea.
coming in.
Bullshit. It's great hair. It's great
No,
hair.
it's called quarantine hair.
Yeah,
It's called quarantine
yeah,
hair.
that's
Just
what
keep growing
I
it out.
call it too.
That's
So
what
we'll see you
Brent,
guys
it's
next
okay.
episode. 50th episode was great.
50. I'm just gonna sink under my mic again.
Fucking look like Chick Knack. Oh my god,
It's okay.
Jack Nicholson in The Shining by the end of this quarantine.
I don't know. That was a good look.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
So when
Just
you
put the axe down.
I'm trying to think now because then you start starring in movies.
Yeah, but nothing was really like, it was exciting, but I did a film. My first lead was in a teen film called Whatever It Takes.
That's what I was going to start with.
Oh,
there.
okay.
Because Aaron, I didn't realize
Because
Aaron
Aaron
Paul was in
being in
that
it,
too.
yeah.
Aaron was another guy who was super nice to me as well. But I just remember you two are in that because that's around the time I think when you start.
Yeah.
Take notes here, Will. When you get celebrity crushes, there was a girl in that. I think I liked the girl that was the dork more than the
Oh yeah.
popular one, which was
yeah.
a common theme with me, and you too.
Yeah.
But apparently, no
No
crush.
posters. He didn't have posters.
That's right.
But I remember that movie because I was like, and he was playing. Was that the girl where you guys were neighbors and you had the?
That's right. That's right.
'Cause he was playing the dorky one.
Because James Franco was playing.
That's who it was. That was the other
playing
one.
the frat boy. Yeah.
So he got to play like the one you root for.
Right.
In that movie.
They knew they I remember that audition process because I had never been a lead in anything. So
Yeah.
I had to audition for 5-6 times. Like it just kept going. And I kept saying, look, maybe I'd have a better shot at getting the prick, like the frat boy, you know, and this kind of thing. And they're like, we've got our eye on this one guy. He's doing something really weird and different, and we like it.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, whatever. So I ultimately got it. And then when I met James, I was like, oh, okay.
Makes sense.
Would have lost. I would not have, if I tested, I would have lost. Yeah.
I remember that. So that just kind of started it up.
So you had more of a crush on Marla Sokoloff.
Marla
Yeah.
Sokolov.
Yeah. I think so.
She's awesome. She's great.
See, that's how it always went for me.
What a good name, Marla.
Marla.
Marley.
Marla. I mean,
Marley's my sister.
Cute.
Yeah.
And then, okay, I have to say this too, because this is where, because I do remember this. I remember in sex ed in high school.
Where is this going?
You'll see. Okay. In sex ed, and I don't know why, because this, by the way, this is how they teach sex ed, I guess. But in sex ed, we had to watch A Walk to Remember.
What?
Sex
Were
ed?
you going to a
when I was in
religious
high
school?
Yeah, right.
When I was in high school, that was their sex ed movie.
Wow.
I don't know if the idea was only fuck if she has cancer, but
Holy shit. That goes deep.
If you're gonna
That's a deep
fuck
cut.
it.
but that's
If you're gonna
fine.
fuck, make sure you get it before she dies.
I don't know why that was in sex ed,
That's
but I
weird.
remember that was the first time
Or
I
you
was
look
really
at it, I
watching
mean, that's
it.
the comedy way, or you look
Yep.
at it as in don't. have
Yeah, right.
sex. Yeah, right.
Don't fall in love because
Yeah.
she's done.
Hey,
gonna die
if
on
you
you.
fall in love, she'll
She's gonna
die.
die. She's gonna shit on your heart. Yeah.
What? Man, we grew up in a different time.
Well, that's
man.
what's so bizarre
Yeah.
because then that was the first time, and you know how it is. You're in high school, you're awkward. I must have been like maybe a junior, senior. I forgot, but I just remember all the girls were obsessed with him. So then all the guys were like trying to be like that. To, you know what I mean? Like where you see
Right.
something girls like, so the next day you're like, maybe I should, jump into a ravine or some shit. You know?
Stand at two places at once.
Because we all do it, you
Right,
know.
right,
it could be a
right.
haircut, it could be whatever it is. You're trying to do what the girls like. No, you just don't get a chain. Like the thing with his character is like, and it's like, yeah. Do you like me? And I just remember that movie. That's when my cousin Jenna, she's gonna be embarrassed by this. It was just posters of you and like I forgot. It was just a bunch of that fucking like Tiger
Probably
Beach shit.
guess some of those people. I can guess probably some of those guys.
Would you say when shit kind of shifted for you?
Yeah, I did. That movie for sure because I was on I was still on the series, the same
wow.
series once and again because it went 3 years. So each year I was lucky to have done a film in between. Yeah, I did Whatever It Takes first, and then it was another one called Get Over It with Kirsten Dunst. Both of those didn't do very well.
Yeah.
So the third one was A Walk to Remember, and that one happened to do well. So yeah, things changed. It was suddenly like, all right, you've been on TV for 3 years. You've had a couple of films. Now all of a sudden,
That happens.
people are liking this one in particular. And that made going to the City Walk, which I used to do all the time, practically impossible. That made, doing those kind of things, not impossible, but just annoying.
Yep.
You know, if you
Shit
care
show.
about it. Yeah, just okay, now I have to pretend, plan on how I look,
Yeah.
what I'm doing. And there was no TMZ, no. I'm
What
sure
year was
there were
that?
some-
Walk to remember. That was
2000 and
It's got to be early 2000s, 2002 maybe. Because I'm trying to think about
Yeah.
school times.
02.
02.
Yeah.
So yeah,
remember.
there was for sure cell phones, but there
Yeah.
wasn't.
It
People
wasn't
had
like
those awful photos from the cell phones.
Yeah.
From the little flip phones
Right.
or Nokias or whatever the heck.
it wasn't like it is now at all.
No.
Yeah.
So it was more of just maybe someone screaming or saying hi, and then people, you just had to keep moving. Is what I
Right.
used to always call it. Keep moving.
Yeah,
So that was
Especially
all.
City Walk.
The
The
City
hell are you
Walks.
doing at City Walk?
I grew up in the city.
They have a
Okay, so
killer Quicksilver store, bro. There's a wave out
they
front.
had a Tower Records.
Yeah.
Or Virgin. I think it was Tower.
Was
Virgin?
it I think it might have been
Might have
Tower.
been Virgin. Yeah. Either one of them.
Yeah.
I was always. I still do. I go to Amoeba all the time. So
That's
I was.
gone.
Well, it's not. It's not. It's just changing places.
Oh, they moving it?
It's going to be Hollywood and El Centro.
Oh, good.
So they just downsized, but it's still there.
I
But
see.
I always loved that stuff. So
Yeah.
I was at City Walk, watching movies constantly, going to the Hard Rock Cafe constantly. I was underage. What else were we going to do? I lived in a garage when I was 19.
So, while you,
sort of
so
like-
then while you were acting, you were doing music as well, because I know you're
Exactly,
a musician,
yeah,
songwriter.
yeah, and that was kind of all that we wrote about. It was very typical of pop punk,
right.
young snotty young love of not being popular because we weren't. And really, the only thing would be that film of acting all of a sudden putting you into a popular atmosphere, but you weren't in school anymore. So it was sort of hung out with my band. I lived in a garage for a long time. I lived in a studio apartment for a long time. And I don't think I bought anything until that movie came out. Wow. Was when I bought a condo and a soccer mom car. Lexus SUV.
Nice. There you go. You got to
Didn't
put
realize it was a soccer
You got
mom
to put
car.
the instruments in the back. That's why.
That's true.
Yeah,
That ended up being the car for the instruments.
that's
Yeah,
the
exactly.
tour van.
Yeah.
That's the tour van.
Yeah.
It's not a grocery getter. It's a tour van.
I didn't know it was a soccer mom car until everyone pointed it out to me after I bought it. So, yeah.
That's like you going, you know what I'm going to get? I'm going to buy a Volvo. I'm going to buy a Volvo station wagon and put woofers in the back.
I'm going to get a Saab.
Yeah, there you go.
Put a spoiler on the back. Yeah. Right.
Man, that Shane guy, he really goes the other way, doesn't he?
Yeah, look at that car.
It's all ways, apparently.
He's a responsible badass.
Responsible. There you go. There's your.
That's a band name.
Yeah, responsible
Badass.
Responsible badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say coffee.
We have a thing we do on the podcast where people send us band name ideas and we come up with band name ideas and then we perform a song as that band.
We improvise a song based off their band name. Some people don't believe we do that, but it just we'll read a band name and then we just improvise it right here with.
I think we wrote it.
Guitars. Yeah.
No,
Do
that's
you,
all
what
right.
about the has-beens and the never will be's?
Oh, that's not bad.
That was always a band name that my band used to have as a joke band name.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
We
One of my
always
favorite-
wanted to call ourselves, but it was like, we're not going to.
The has-beens and the never will be's.
Yeah.
I like
Has
that.
been and the never will be's.
I like that. One of my favorites that somebody sent us, it's just still one of my favorites, is Too Many Megans.
Too many Megans. That's
So
a
good.
good name.
Yeah.
Too Many Megans. That's a good one.
Alliteration always works for me.
What was the other one?
I mean, we got like beef lollipop.
Beef
I mean, that's a
Lollipop
weird
is one. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, we got some good ones. We're telling our listeners if we can get up to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube,
Okay.
we'll put out an album
Of the band
of
names.
these bands.
Oh.
And we'll just make the song, each band name, we try to figure out the genre. What kind of fucking band name would this be? Oh, it's an 80s Beach Boy band, you
Yeah.
know? What was that
Okay.
80s Beach Boy type band?
I can't remember. Man, they've sent us so many.
There's a lot.
Is
But
beef lollipop like, that's like
Okay,
punk rock?
I'm going to get
Yeah, that's what we were
salty,
thinking.
That was like, that's like a Cinema Beer Nuts, Punkorama.
Yeah.
Back in the
Right.
back in the 96, like, I don't know, would that be 98 punk rock? Yeah.
You going to get the fly?
What? Oh, yeah, grab the...
never had a fly once.
Ever.
Yeah. Now we have a fly in the
Brought
damn
him
thing.
in.
Wait,
I brought it
you're
in.
chasing it
Brought
down?
in.
What are you, Mr.
Did you
Miyagi?
see how he was running?
I can't see. I couldn't see it.
Go get the gun.
Your band is
have a fly gun.
Twilight Creeps.
Yes.
Is
that's
that still your band?
It's still a band. I mean, you know, we'll see what happens now thanks to quarantine and the
know.
pandemic and the
Have
fact
you-
that music is over.
When's the last? Like, you just?
Holy.
You guys don't hurt each other.
Don't use the gun.
Oh, he got a gun.
What was that?
It's a fly gun.
What was that loud noise that just happened?
That's not a super soaker?
Bug assault?
Yeah, bug salt.
That
Bug assault.
is a Nerf, let's be honest. Is it?
That's
But
assault.
if it
But-
happens to come back,
Well, don't miss though, because
I
You
know,
can get
I
me
mean, I
right
won't do
between
it.
the eyes.
Imagine, but that will go viral.
see, look, bug assault.
Bug assault, yeah.
What does that actually shoot out?
It
Salt.
shoots salt and it
Oh,
takes
really?
down takes
Like
down
bullets.
flies.
Like a
A full metal jacket shoots out a full metal jacket,
What if it was just
and we want to get when we say we want to get rid of that fucking fly, we're not fucking around.
what if it puts a huge
Amongst
hole? I
other
go,
things.
okay, that was the real gun. I'm sorry.
Why did you paint it orange?
I'm silly.
We were just starting to talk about Twilight Creeps.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, it's I mean, look, it's wild, but obviously
I had a
don't
blast.
know when.
I saw you live. It was fun
Oh,
as hell.
thanks, dude. It's fun. It was I've done music most of my life. It's always been something that I've been at least doing on the side, and sometimes a little bit bigger than other projects. But Twilight Creeps was more with the buddies of mine from other bands in the past, and we just kind of put it together as something for fun. So something more horror movie, scary movie based music and titles and things like that, because it's something that we were always passionate about, and some kind of Misfits vibe and kind of
I like it.
Alkaline Trio vibe, and just
yeah.
kind of had fun with that. And it didn't, it's not like it took off, but all of a sudden it did a little bit better than we expected, in the sense that we got to play, a few Warped Tour dates. We got to open for some bands that we were always big fans of, a band called Strung Out. God bless them, took care of us really well and put us on the road. And Mill and Collins just recently, which was a punk band that I loved, let us play 4 of their dates. You know, and it's genuine because they wouldn't let us do it if they didn't like it. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
But so we've had a lot more fun with it than we ever expected. We certainly didn't expect to do one of the bigger, not the big stage of Warped Tour, but one of the bigger ones. Instead of a tent, in the corner somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, please buy this CD. But it was an absolute blast. But then, we've done a couple albums. You can get them on iTunes and Spotify, and we're working on a third. And then, the pandemic hit. So now I'm like, what the hell is going on? Festivals
We don't know either.
Done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got to, with comedy
clubs
it's got to
are
be
done.
I mean, I always say, if it wasn't for this podcast, I'd be losing my shit.
Yeah, I bet.
I
true.
would be.
Well, because you guys do it daily, which always blew my mind.
We
'Cause
are
certainly
working.
couldn't
We're
do
on
music
stage.
daily, but
We were on stage every single night, and
Every
now
night.
it's been 5 months.
Yeah, man.
5 months. I'm turning down gigs. A lot of people are like, "Hey, I'm doing this show at this thing," and I'm
sure.
like, "I'm not ready yet." But
right, okay.
still, it's like, whew.
Well, there's got to be a thing where I'm kind of looking at the positive ends of all this. Stuff like festivals, obviously. That's
Done.
I've already talked to somebody with Live Nation. They're already looking at 2022, but
Yeah.
they're not even looking at 2021, at least for giant festivals.
Yeah.
But for comedy, for music, for depending on how intimate you want to be, there's got to be ways to even take something like the Roxy or the Whiskey for comedy or music and be able to go, okay, I know this, it depends on if everyone has to agree, but it can't be at capacity.
Nope.
It's got to be at a 25 or whatever the rules might be at the time.
They tried it a little bit.
they already have?
Before they shut everything down. A lot of the comedy clubs, not necessarily here in LA, but we're doing 50% capacity. Like I was booked to do Brad Garrett's Comedy Club in Vegas last week.
Last week?
Last week they canceled it, obviously.
Okay.
But
Right.
they were very much like 50% capacity, no meet and greet, no merch sales, nobody in the green room,
merch sales,
like nothing. Which is, for me, I'm like, money wise, I'm like, sucks. Health wise, I'm like, yes, nobody, please, And
Yeah.
personally was a little relieved that it got canceled.
Right.
Because I just want to be able to do it right. And there's a few, you get a lot of offers for virtual shows, which stand up.
Right.
It's tough.
That's just not how stand-up works. But now there's a few things that they're doing, which I think is interesting.
Okay.
A couple of people are putting on these virtual shows where you're actually on a stage with a mic, and it's like Minority Report. There's just a bunch of screens in
I've
front of you.
Heard about that.
like these size TVs, and you can kind of hear them, and they can talk back to
They're
you.
reacting and
Right,
laughing,
right,
and they're
okay.
paying. They're
Okay.
paying to watch. So
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
so
interesting.
There's
But
one that
a
might
shot.
happen in
we
August.
have to. At first, I was the angry dad and like, fuck this. It's not. But now, you have to adapt. You got to.
Yeah.
Because now we're all itching. All of us are live performers. You even said it. You did theater, and then that shit you loved, and then now it's music, and then with us stand up. And there's nothing better than being on stage in front of actual people, which we can't do. But if we can get close enough for now, it feels like that could work. I mean, there's some outdoor shows people are doing that they're consistently doing, but I don't really have the motivation to go out there and test the waters with somebody's
What if
show yet.
so? If a vaccine comes out,
Oh,
say,
please.
say hello. Let's
Right.
get political. No, if a vaccine comes out, say, well, I'm hearing December or January, but if for some whatever, say it comes out in December, would that suddenly let you guys be okay in the sense to go screw it? Now maybe I can do a 25% capacity
Yes.
show at the Laugh Factory or whatever. Comedy store.
If I know something's in place, I've been vaccinated. If I know everybody else is being vaccinated,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
but it's got to be legit.
That's the,
It's got to be right, and everybody has to be on the same page. And I'm kind of looking at L.A. and New York's comedy clubs as a barometer of when things should be opening, because it sucks because there's a lot of amazing clubs through this entire country that are being fucked and hurt economically just because they can't open.
And then
they're
there's some that are
forced to
opening.
open. Yeah, they're forced to open. Where
Which is too soon. in my
staples like
opinion.
Comedy Store and Laugh Factory, I think and Improv just seem to have a little bit more time where they can stay closed until it feels like they can open. So
Right.
when I see one of those open, then I start going,
that's a good
something
point,
good
yeah.
must be happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
the
I
rest
just
of
I thought I just saw something about the Comedy Store is going to open for podcasts for like some of the podcasts that they do there.
Oh
but I
yeah,
don't,
I've seen a few. By the way, I'm not going to try the gun in here because I realize I'll miss and salt will go flying into somebody's eyes. Because I saw the fly again.
It shoots
I'm gonna
salt?
get my.
Is that
I'll
what it is?
make sure
little
my
salt
eyes-
pellets.
Yeah. And by the way,
Put
I'm
out
not
an
a
eye.
sniper, and
You ever get salt in your eye?
You're not
anyways?
confident with your abilities? Yeah.
I am.
You ever get
not.
salt in your eyes anyways? Imagine it being shot into your
Margaritas.
eye.
Yeah.
Go!
Drinking margaritas.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much salt. Like vampires will never get in here. No. Is that a thing with vampires, or is that witches?
I don't.
That's garlic.
I was gonna say.
Okay.
Can you imagine just a pinch
Or
of
is that
salt?
witches?
Just a
Ah,
pinch of
that's
salt
wonderful.
will
Oh, I'm
take care of
thinking
that
snails.
vampire.
Funny.
Yeah, right.
Snails are
Snails.
salt.
Yes.
And
So I don't
they're
have a snail
and
problem.
Snails are
That'd be
wildly
funny.
different than vampires.
To shoot a vampire with salt.
Fellas, are you prepared to unveil your summer bod?
Nope.
Well, Manscaped is here to ensure that your post-quarantine body is ready for the wild, okay? We don't want any hairs hanging out, okay?
Ugh,
we don't want any
gross.
of this. You want to get out on that beach, glistening smooth,
Don't look like
and
an uncle.
sexy AF, okay?
Sexy AF.
Listen, before I got my Manscaped, what is
one
it?
they
Perfect,
sent
the
us,
Perfect
right?
Package 3.0. Before I got my Perfect Package 3.0, I'm going to tell you right now, down there it was like a abandoned cabin in the woods. A lot of thickets in there. Couldn't get to it. Now, hey, right now, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on.
Okay.
Right now, it's like a lighthouse.
A lighthouse.
It's like a beautiful, gleaming lighthouse on a crystal smooth ocean. Like
Oh
at 4 in the
my
morning
God.
ocean. You know, the best time to go fishing where there's no waves, where it's just smooth like
course.
glass. I'm a lighthouse standing in the middle of that beautiful, smooth ocean now.
man.
It's the sexiest thing you've ever
That's
seen.
all I can picture right now is your penis. And I'll tell you something before I use mine. Mine just didn't look good. And then I gave it a shot, and now it looks like a porcelain doll. Well, I don't know what that means, but it's just beautiful down there, okay? But just make sure, here's the deal. You got the summer coming up. Get that Perfect Package 3.0 with the Lawnmower 3.0. It also comes with essential oils and all these other
Smell
things.
goods.
You smell goods. And actually, I'm not going to lie to you. I've been using the face wash, too, that it comes with.
Oh.
And I've been loving it on my beard because it has.
Don't
this-
forget
By the way,
testy toner.
can I tell you something? By the way, I really hope that was for my face. I just realized I was just
Yeah.
using some lotion. Anyway, point being,
Hey, your face now smells like delicious balls.
it smells like a man.
Right
for
now,
once.
right now, if you go to manscaped.com, use the promo code LION, you will get 20% off plus free shipping. That is 20% off plus free shipping with promo code LION at manscaped.com. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job.
Yes.
Manscaped, baby. I was going to say,
That was
you
the
were
easiest.
talking about that music is like that horror movie kind of vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
I just watched the Zodiac movie.
Oh, right. Okay.
That was awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
That was a fun movie.
That was fun. It was different. That was 2 or 3 years ago. It was a concept. I love Leslie. Leslie Bibb was a part of it. She was
Yeah.
my wife in the movie, and she's phenomenal. But we loved the idea of what if.
That's what I
and
loved
sort
about
of
it.
like, and also that we're terrible. That it was a different kind of concept. You're not
Yeah.
looking at this heroic
Right.
hero and heroine. You're looking at a desperate white trash, so to speak, family that's just trying to make ends meet and are desperate and making mistakes at left and right. So it's sort of like if we all of a
Right.
sudden got this information and let's go and try and figure it out. So for us, and then Matt Craven's brilliant, who joined the film as well. So it was kind of our trio. It was
great.
Just kind of goofing around on that. But
And I love the fiction based around a true.
yes.
Because I'm a crazy true crime fan. Like I
Okay.
love
Okay. Yeah.
true crime stuff, and I've watched all the documentaries and listened to all the podcasts about the Zodiac.
It's Detective Jason,
Killer?
by the way.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
turned into a
Nice.
detective
Okay.
on our
Yeah, yeah.
podcast.
Quarantine will help with
Yep,
that.
telling you,
That's for
man.
sure.
Detective
And
Jason.
so I saw that. I'm like, a buddy and a fucking. I'm gonna watch this, and it was fun. It was fun.
Oh, thanks, man.
I enjoyed it,
That's
man. It was
cool
a
to
fun
hear.
movie.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to also I at least did. I remember telling the director, I was like, we don't have to have this. Let's make it. He's got to be if it's the Zodiac killer, he's got to be old. But let's make it also just hard to follow in the end anyway. Maybe
Yeah.
it was him. Maybe it was a copycat killer. Maybe it
Right.
was this. We didn't necessarily get him. Maybe we got someone else. And so we kind of left it, not open-ended for a sequel, but we left it
Right.
open-ended as we might actually have been killed at the end. But
Yeah.
we're
was
not
so
going to
cool.
give you that typical
Nice.
ending.
And it's called
Awakening the Zodiac.
Awakening. Yeah,
Which was-
Awakening or Hunting, but Awakening
gotta
the
see
Zodiac.
that.
By the
haven't
way,
seen
one
that.
of the biggest bummer, honestly, names because it was I liked it. It was called Z.
Oh.
And But here's where we go with the politics now of Redbox and certain things like that, or Netflix, or I guess more of a Redbox kind of thing.
Right.
But it was almost back in the day, if we're talking about Virgin and Tower Records, when you
Right.
would go to a record store, you would look at the letter A, obviously, first. And so they were trying to sell this. Z seemed so confusing to them to try and give it to somebody else. And they didn't want to say Zodiac, and obviously we had the Jake Gyllenhaal Zodiac movie. So they were like, what about, and it was always going to be the letter A, Zodiac. And I was like, here we go. And I was like, what do you think? I'm like, it makes sense. It's the point of the movie. But
Right.
Z would have been better. But then they were like, but maybe nobody sees Z. And I'm like,
And it's always the people that aren't, I don't know, whenever industry people start going, yeah, but what?
I know.
I always want to go, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I know.
I mean, it
I'm
happens
like,
all
did
the
it help?
time.
Maybe it did. I have no idea.
It's like, don't name a show undateable because it allows people to go, undateable is unwatchable.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Yes.
unfunny. Or,
Right.
you know.
Whatever it
can't
takes.
do that.
Whatever it takes was called "I'll Be You," and which was a take on, which is odd, but at least in the script, Franco looks at me. I'm gonna totally misquote this, besides the "I'll Be You" part, but he was like, "Look, you be me, I'll be you," because it was loosely take on Cyrano de Bergerac. Whatever it takes was sort of like, don't put whatever in the title either, because that's like whatever.
Yeah, whatever. We don't care
Whatever.
about this.
Yeah, get over it. How do you name Get Over It was getting over Allison. The lead character girl was Allison.
Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
yeah.
It was Ben Foster was in that, and he was
yeah.
getting over Allison. And they're like,
You-
get over it. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Wonderful job, guys.
You Be Me sounds like it would be another one of those movies. They did a string of these movies in the 80s and 90s where it was like the parent and the kid switching.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Red
yeah.
Savage was a
vice versa.
Vice versa.
Yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
You Be Me.
You Be Me.
And you guys wake up and go, oh my God, I'm you.
And the poster's this.
Oh, my God.
And you're happy that you're you, and I'm just like, I'm fucking him now. You know?
Well, not fucking me, but yeah, I know.
It's a different movie.
Different way to
That would
him.
actually be better. I'm fucking him, and it's
There's
just you
the
doing
movie.
this.
There is the movie
I'd be like,
poster.
whoa, what is this movie?
That would be amazing. Well, straight to video.
Have you noticed though, like, because you watched that during quarantine, right?
What?
The Zodiac.
No,
movie,
I
right?
watched it before this.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
But I did want to know, like,
I love true crime. That's
because
what
I'm like so many things like The Office and Friends and like
yeah.
all these things got like a resurgence, especially during
yeah.
quarantine. Have you noticed anything kind of with this new generation resurging, where all of a sudden it's like, why the fuck did I just get 300 followers today or something?
Oh, from something that I have done?
Yeah, that you've done, that's out there now
A little
on
bit.
those
It was,
platforms.
Walk to Remember recently, and I think
Yeah.
that's only really thanks to social media, even though we're all hooked to Netflix anyway.
yeah.
But really only thanks to social media did I realize that it just came out on Netflix
Oh yeah.
a month ago or something. So
shit.
there's a resurgence of that. Nikita, when I did that show,
Oh yeah.
there was a cool resurgence of that. I believe at the beginning of the year, a little pre-quarantine, because I think it was. I'm pretty positive it was Netflix, maybe Hulu. So there's always something to do with that. Sometimes Salem, when I did that show,
Yeah.
they're
That was a good show.
That show was a ton of fun, but that one just appears all over the place. So suddenly it's on Hulu, suddenly it's on
that's incredible.
Netflix, and
That's awesome.
so you'll get like a month of people going, Witch Killer and all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
because I keep seeing it. I just keep seeing like my neighbor is one of the girls from the office, and there's just,
Oh, I just saw her.
Yeah. Oh,
I
you
just
did?
wondered if that was her.
Oh, when you pulled up?
When I pulled up, she
Yeah.
just waved, and I was like, wait a minute, I know you. Oh, I
then
don't
she
know you,
started-
but yeah.
And then she starts a podcast, which is huge
Really?
now.
Oh, it's
like it's
amazing.
number 1 on like the charts and
Yep.
shit.
Her and
it's
the
all about
girl
the
that played
Office.
Pam.
Jenna Fisher.
Yeah.
Jenna Fisher, they have a podcast where each episode they're talking about an episode of The Office through
Because
the
it
life of The
blew
Office,
up.
and it's called Office
It's like
Chicks?
Office Ladies? Or
Office
something?
Ladies, yeah.
And it's like
And
went
they
right
have
to
get
number 1.
So many notes.
It's
'cause there-
consistently
there was so
number
many
1,
episodes.
2, and it's amazing.
That's like the Scrubs are doing that too. Zach
Yeah.
Braff and Donald Faison
Really?
are doing that,
Oh,
like a
yeah, 'cause
rewatching
that
thing, and that's
came
like
back.
top 10 immediately.
That's a smart idea.
Good idea. Maybe I'll do that about that TV show that I had a part in when I was 3 years old.
How many episodes are we talking about?
Remember that show, Emergency? Remember that
That's
show?
Amazing. I mean, I've heard of it.
I was
yeah.
my brother and I have an identical twin. As you, my
Yes,
brother and I
yeah,
played one kid in one episode of that.
Oh my
Back in-
Twins were that was good commodity. When you're a
70s.
twin,
Yeah.
you could work as a
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
You
know?
could work for a very long time.
Yeah,
The
6 hours a
teenager
piece.
My
years.
parents
yeah.
were
There
like,
you go. Here you go.
They were like,
we
no.
got that show.
Yeah.
my mom took me to a couple of more auditions, and she's like, no, this is not the life for me. It was one of those things. She goes, when they're older and they can make the decision on their own, I will support it.
I get
Good.
that. That's
But
good.
I'm not going to keep bringing them. I guess one of the auditions that they took us to was for a childproof pill cap.
Oh yeah.
And in the audition, they just give you the bottle, and me and my brother just went,
And opened it.
don't call us, we'll call you.
Yeah, get the hell out.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'm like,
Little fucking geniuses. Okay, so they're out of this.
Wow.
Give them diapers.
But yeah, man, the true crime things. I've been going down some rabbit holes, man. The Free Britney thing, I'm all over.
I don't know anything about it.
Hey, how much
Besides
time
the
you got?
fact that,
Shane, here we go.
I'm good. Let's go. Well, I do know the the Epstein one was a lot of fun. That was more.
There you go.
Yeah,
Is
we
she
have a whole
okay?
thing.
Is that
I don't
the
know.
question?
See, I was
Like,
Strap in.
I was on the fence. Here's the thing. I was in the camp of she's insane and it's fun to watch.
Okay.
But then people started going with this whole conspiracy theory, like, no, you don't understand. She's telling us that she needs help without saying help because there's a conservatorship that her father, the courts put her under, where basically a conservatorship. You know what that is? When basically a court will put you under a conservatorship if you are elderly and you might have dementia and you can't really take care of yourself. So the court will put somebody in charge of you. And in her case, it's her father. And they said that they were trying to say that she had early onset dementia in her fucking 20s. And she's basically under the control of this conservatorship that her father is in control of. Now there's some lady that's apparently like the temporary conservator, some Jody Montgomery or something, but somebody was saying that's no longer her dad, but then I looked into it because I'm a detective.
Yeah, he's
And
really
it
gone.
is.
He
He's
have
still
some time.
ultimately he still is in charge of it,
Okay.
and he just was sick or something, but this girl's temporary, but he's in charge of that girl who's in charge of it. So it's still his shit. And I personally know a lawyer that was on the original team that put the conservatorship together, and he was like, I'm out of here. This is not good. He didn't
Yeah,
like.
see, he's going to get us picked up in a van at one day. 'cause-
Yeah.
So
what
write
started
this
happening
down.
is you watch her posts, you look at her videos, and
I love it.
I know.
it's so weird. She'll
Okay.
it's like, I'm crazy, I'm fucking crazy, and like it's weird,
He doesn't
right? Because
Identical. Yes.
crazy.
she'll do a thing like, I felt like posing in a yellow shirt today, and then she'll just like be,
I saw a full henna tattoo or something. That's the new thing.
all
but
kinds of
yeah,
shit.
okay. All right.
Well, then it turns out people were like messaging her, commenting in the comments, said, hey, if you need help in your next post, wear a yellow shirt. Next thing you know, she's doing a nothing post that's about nothing. She's just in a yellow shirt, right? And they're like, okay, I'm on the fence. Whatever. This is just fun to watch. Then she did a video where she's holding a white hat and pretending she's playing peekaboo, but her finger is pointing. And if you look close, there's something written on the hat, and a lot of people have zoomed in and think that it says "Help me."
Is it
but
literally that? It
It's,
looks like
it's
help
literally
release and
this
that-
little tiny.
Show the hat.
Yeah, it's
that
hard to
thing.
tell what
You
it's
got-
it's
you gotta
something,
go-
but we just don't know what it is.
Throw
it-
I'll
you
pull
gotta-
it up.
Throw it on the monitor, but like.
Yeah.
But then she in her caption she said, "This is a fun little game I used to play with my niece. This is how I used to play peekaboo with my niece." And I'm thinking, that's cute. She looks cute, and but then I'm like, the background music that she chose was, "They did a bad thing. They did a bad." And I'm thinking,
Isaac?
okay, if this is a cute post about your niece playing peekaboo, then why that song? And then there's fucking so
Then
much
he's
more.
getting
man.
me thinking like
There's
this.
so
shit.
much more. Then she did a post recently where what are you looking for?
Trying to find the hat thing.
Oh, it's got to be lower.
that
dude.
deep?
Yeah, it's deep, dude.
Damn, she's
It's
got a
down
moon
there.
out there
Going
now.
that crazy with
It's
the post.
down there, bro. And if you look at the hat,
yeah, there it is.
See how her finger's pointing. If you look above her finger, there's something written on the hat,
Oh,
right? Which
We just don't know what it is. But
you
it's
can't make it
something.
out.
it
You
said
can't make
made
it out.
in China.
Yeah, right. You can't make it out, and of course I'm like, it's nothing. And it just keeps going, and you keep
But she
hearing
keeps-
shit. And here's the crazy part: it's blowing up. This
Yeah.
Free Britney thing is blowing up. If it were you, wouldn't you like address it? Like, guys, I'm fine. Everything's okay.
If it was blowing up and
Yeah.
If people
Yeah.
were worried
Hashtag
about
probably.
you and ask, and
Probably.
literally
100%.
every single comment on is, do you need help? Are you okay? And she's not addressing it at all.
it depends also though on who's in her life.
Right.
I mean, we don't
She's
know anybody. Who,
apparently
who are
under the
people-
conservatorship, she's not allowed to do anything on her own. She can't drive a car. She
But I
can't
mean,
go to
like
Starbucks. She
friends.
can't-
Like, does she have a support system besides that? I
She's
mean,
got this one boyfriend, which there's another weird video of them working out, and he's behind her, and she's like this, and he's like, and then you see him go smile, and she goes,
Oh, Jesus.
it's weird.
Yeah, see, only
Then-
Jay would notice all this
But
shit.
then the latest
No,
thing,
look. Yeah.
then the latest thing is this video where she's like, "Hey guys, I'm Britney," and she says, "A lot of people. I'm gonna address some of the questions that people have been asking me." And she says, "One of the main questions that people have been asking me is what." First of all, she talks like when your toddler is in trouble and they're out of breath and they're trying to explain themselves out of something. She's
Very
doing
excited.
that.
Yes, right.
Rocking back and forth. It's fucking crazy. She says, "People have been asking me, what's my favorite Disney movie?" That's one of the main questions that people have been asking. I'm like,
No, it's not.
no one's asking you that.
Right.
She said, Frozen, because I really like the relationship between the sisters and how one goes to live in the castle because she can't hang anymore. And I'm like, well, that's fucking weird. And then she goes, another question that people have been asking me, from that to this, she goes, people have been asking me what time I go to bed. First of all, no one's fucking asking you what time you go to bed.
Yeah, that's a weird
She
question.
says between 11 and
15 years
12:30.
ago. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Right? So then I'm like, that's weird. And I'm trying to find something there. And of course, somebody finds it online, sends me a video.
This is wild. You told me about
This
this.
chick
is
goes,
crazy.
okay, watch this. She says, Frozen is her favorite movie. She says she goes to bed at 11. Da, 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 da. She goes, so I went to that time on the movie Frozen.
Oh, no.
She fast forwards it to that time. And in that exact time is the scene in Frozen where she goes, tell them they have to let me go. And she's wearing handcuffs. And I'm like,
Yeah, see, so then he's starting to get to, speaking of
oh,
fucking
hashtag
awakened Zodiac here.
free Britney, dude. So that's basically what I've been doing in my free time. And of course, there was the Wayfair conspiracy theory.
Oh, yeah,
With,
okay.
Yeah. And here's how I found out about that one.
Okay.
Brent and I we're always making fun of our chairs, and
Yeah, 'cause
Brent
it's
mentioned, he
fucking
goes,
sweet.
I think I got them on Wayfair or Overstock, and really that quick.
Okay.
Of course, in the comments on our YouTube, ooh, Wayfair, you guys are getting canceled. I'm like, what the
What
fuck?
the fuck are they talking
Was
about?
that? So I Googled it.
Okay.
And there's that whole thing about the cabinets that are named after a girl. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, no.
Okay,
no.
this is
I just knew
crazy.
they were in trouble. I'm a big head.
Sorry.
Detective Jason.
There is
We have
a
a night
conspiracy
court, theme song.
that's Law and Order thing.
I knew that one was, but yeah, I was
There's
trying to
a
think of-
conspiracy theory that Wayfair is a front for sex trafficking.
Oh, okay. So yes, I
So
heard
there was
that
a- there
part,
was a
but I haven't
cabinet
heard the
on
cabinet
Wayfair.
part. Okay.
There was one that was just a cabinet, and it was $150
Right.
or whatever.
Okay.
But then there's this exact same cabinet, but this one, IKEA names their shit weird.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
you can get the Gorfsklargen chairs or whatever the fuck.
Yes.
Of course, glory.
So this cabinet
Yeah,
now
but
has a
wrong-
woman's name,
Okay.
not a very common name, like Yaritza or some shit,
Okay.
and it's $15,000. And I'm like, what? So somebody Googles the name, which is not a common name, and as of May 18th, 2020, this girl's missing.
Oh my God.
So they go to
Yes,
a
welcome.
different one.
I know what I'm doing tonight.
They go to a
Gonna be on
different one.
People
Netflix
have been
all
going
night.
down
Since
wormholes.
people have spotlighted this though, Wayfair's claiming it was a glitch.
Right.
You can't. But I'm like, that's a weird fucking glitch. There's another name. It was like,
It was like Samaya or
Samaya.
something? Yeah.
It was
Oh,
the name of
yeah.
one of the pieces of furniture was named Samaya, and it was $13,000. And you Google that name, and some girl out of like Alaska or some shit named Samaya has been missing since like May or whatever.
See, he has really been. I might write
Bro,
a movie
there's
about
another
Detective
one. This
Jason.
one blew my mind.
This is a pilot idea.
Yeah,
This
I know.
one blew my mind. There's this personalized pillow that you could have your name put on. You
Okay.
could personalize it with a name.
Okay.
So when you would go on the website and you typed in like say Ashley,
Okay.
boom, $10,000. What? So you
For a
delete it,
pillow.
and then you type in another girl's
Rebecca?
name,
Yeah.
$13,000. Like it had different prices for different girls' names on these pillows, dude. That's
How quickly did that get?
like now. As
Wipes
soon
out,
as people,
yeah.
here's the, you know what's blowing
No.
shit up right now? TikTok. People on TikTok are blowing motherfuckers up right now. Like Donald Trump wants to get rid of TikTok because he's being cyberbullied on a daily.
Right.
On TikTok. Like
Yeah.
there's these K-pop kids that are like, hey guys, let's all use the hashtag something something so that when Trump tries to use it, no one will go to it. It'll just be us K-pop kids.
Okay.
I mean, and they're doing they got a bunch of people. They got that rally that he was saying.
Which one? Tulsa? Or-
You send in a reservation and we'll get you get in. And like he was
Oh.
bragging that millions of people reserved. Well, what that was all those K-pop kids on TikTok were like, let's all make reservations to go to this rally and then not show up. So there was hardly anybody at this
That might
thing.
have been Tulsa.
Yeah,
Or something. Yeah.
Tulsa,
Or
I think it was
was
Tulsa,
the one that,
yeah.
would,
Yeah.
that was supposed to have a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, that's
Terrifying out there.
That might be the reason why I keep hearing TikTok might be disappearing from America. But or there's other reasons too. There was something about, I don't know, getting access to your phone or
yeah.
everything on
I
your
think
phone.
I heard that they're like they could get access to all your shit
Oh, great.
Right.
because isn't it out of
You a TikToker?
is TikTok out of where's TikTok out of?
I thought
I
China.
have
oh,
the app,
China
but I
is
haven't
always-
done anything
It's
on
out
it.
of China.
China.
It's out of China.
It's out of China.
Yeah.
China.
China and the TikTok.
I will never TikTok, by the way.
I mean, I
42.
try.
Can't.
Doesn't
I'm
doesn't
40.
stop
I'm
J-Lo.
49 years old.
I know.
I tried, and it's just I'm gonna do it my way. And my way of doing TikTok is I just make fun of TikTok on TikTok. you
That,
know?
I mean, that's the way to, isn't that how Vine started?
Yeah.
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 But like
Right.
all the little trendy things like
Right.
I mean, come on.
Jay just does these
Now,
things.
I might
that
do
fucking
that.
So fun.
Home, alone, in a bathrobe, with some wine.
Imagine if you did that.
Oh my
if
God.
it would get so many views. Just
Yeah,
you
you
in
know
a
how many-
bathrobe.
Do you know how many comments will be under him saying, "Are you okay?"
Free
Wear a
shame.
yellow robe.
Wear a yellow
Wear a
robe
yellow
if you're
robe.
held captive. You know who got that a lot was Howie Mandel.
Oh yeah.
People were like, Howie Mandel's being weird as shit on his TikToks. And guess what he did that Britney's not doing? He immediately
He responded.
addressed it. He's like, guys, I'm weird on TikTok because I'm 65 years old and I don't know how to do it.
But let's be
I'm
honest.
fine.
Do we think that Britney would be, if she is in trouble, do we think she would be with it enough to have put together the Frozen?
See,
Yeah,
that's
that's
the
I know.
thing.
That's
She's acting like I'm ditzy and I just sing, oops, I did it again. But she's like, I'm a fucking genius. Because the thing is,
That is
if
her
you
real
watch-
voice, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because if you watch old videos of her,
yeah.
her voice
voice
is
was
not
exactly
that
like
fucking
that.
high. She sings like this. It's amazing. Like if you look at the old videos of her singing, they apparently they made her. They made her retrain her voice to sing in that baby voice because they
Oh.
thought it was going to be like more iconic, like a Marilyn Monroe type of thing.
Wow.
And her and Christina Aguilera's debut albums were coming out at the same time, and they didn't want them to be similar.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted Christina Aguilera to have that soulful, Mariah Carey vibe. So they're like, let's make her the bubblegum pop queen. And they retrained her voice to sing in that baby voice. And if you look at old videos of her in interviews, she doesn't talk like this. She doesn't sing like that. When she was 8, she was singing in this beautiful, powerful voice.
And you know, with the Mickey Mouse Club. And,
And now
yeah.
she's like,
I'm Britney and like, oh my God.
Look, that was my that was my bubblegum pop star crush.
Yeah, Britney.
When all the girls
Britney?
started was Britney for a second.
Yeah.
Because I remember the station called The Box. Mm-hmm. So Hit Me Baby One More Time or whatever, Baby One More Time or One More Time.
Yep.
Don't remember really the
Hit Me All the
official
Time.
title.
Hit Me All the Times.
Many times. That was on The Box all the time. And I remember thinking, this is a catchy song. She's cute. I hope
Yeah.
she is successful one
Right.
day. And then all of a sudden, she blew up.
Blew up.
So that was my little
Yeah.
crush in the beginning, and I actually met her. She's a sweetheart.
I was going to say, my one thing I was going to say, I was waiting for him to say after all the names we've mentioned, he goes, well, I dated Britney.
Yeah,
for
of
a
course.
while."
I didn't really
To rate-
date
Come back.
her, but
Let's come back full circle. No,
She was really sweet.
Yeah, she was very sweet. She was dating Justin at the time. I mean, during those
Cognitive?
days, very cognitive.
See?
I met her on Crossroads, that movie.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, she was hot
which
in that.
was funny because I took a meeting. It was around the same time I did A Walk to Remember. And I was like, I'm not going to do a film with Mandy Moore, a well-known pop star at the time. To the very next thing that I do is Crossroads with Britney Spears.
Right.
But we took the meeting anyway, and it was a sweetheart, and I did a little read, but it was never going to go any further. And I like made him know that, and she was amazing, and she was in the room. We just sat and talked and
Pretty in person.
pretty sweetheart, and it was really
Wow.
cool. But nothing really beyond that, except that I do know sometimes you just have an it factor. Britney has always had the it factor. So whether she's in trouble or not, I mean, the shaved head and the golf club through the window, and then
That's
her next single was #1.
Right.
She can do no wrong, in my opinion.
Yeah, see,
What
that's
we've
the thing
noticed
that
when
kills
it
me
comes to
about-
music coming out.
Yeah.
People are they're gonna buy it no matter what.
Right.
Everyone else might fail on their second, third, fourth album. She's just like, always going to succeed.
See, that's what a lot of people are saying with the conspiracy, that this may be
This is all
a
album.
huge publicity stunt,
Kanye.
right?
I mean, there's that as well.
But
yeah.
And then that's another thing. If under this conservatorship is a lot of it. A lot of people get put under these things because they're not self-sufficient. They can't take it.
Yeah.
But during this, while she's been under this conservatorship for over a decade. It's been 11, 12 years now. In that 12 years, she has had so many hit albums,
Right.
2 or 3 major world tours, a residency in Vegas.
Yeah.
She's working during this whole thing and making millions and millions of dollars. So it's like if she's so incapacitated that she needs to be under, why is she still working so hard?
Right.
And by the way, doing an amazing job.
Right.
It's not like she's on strings on stage going, "Oops, I did it again." No, she's out there fucking
Imagine
killing
that
it.
would sell out too, though.
Off Broadway.
Britney.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
And misses the chair.
Literally.
Hey, right. Ma, ma,
Oh man.
Solo.
Hold the chin down. Hold the chin down.
So yeah,
That's a horror movie right there.
I'm watching it, and I've been talking about it so much in the podcast. People are
Twilight Zone
sending me
episode.
articles about it.
Yeah,
sending
we're getting
me
blown up for
updates
it.
and like, yo, this is crazy, and I'm like,
What else do you know? What does Detective
Yeah.
Jason know? I'm
Well,
getting all
now-
these DMs now.
now
That's
I
why I'm
wanna-
like,
yeah.
you got to bring it up because people are probably going to listen to this episode and go, wonder if they're going to talk about it this week. Because Detective Jason is on the case. We keep saying when these clubs open, the comedy clubs, where I'm going to be at the comedy store in the back with everybody. They're going to be like, where's Jason? Oh, he's a detective for the...
he's on a case right now.
Yeah,
I got a fedora on. I'm
He
wearing
actually
a,
never went up. He's just out talking about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
case.
I don't know.
I got an old school pad. I'm a gumshoe now. You know?
Hey, he's in Uruguay for some reason. I don't know anymore.
And we get like this kind of art and stuff.
Oh, I've seen that. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So that's what that's from.
You got your own graphic novel.
Show
right
See
there.
that?
Come on.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah. People
Sin
keep
City
sending us
3.
texts.
Somebody
Yeah,
made one of
Jason.
the Perry Mason poster, the new Perry Mason
Oh,
on
yes,
HBO, but with
yeah.
my face.
Okay.
And then through the door, you know how they have the glass doors in the old detective's office? You could see Britney in the outside the door.
Jason's starting a whole...
Yeah.
It might be why your Twitter got hacked, too.
Maybe.
I mean,
my
if
Twitter
you
got
think about it.
hacked. I am a beautiful Asian girl now. Yeah. That
Show
only
one on one of
types
his Twitter,
in,
just
in
one of his
with
tweets.
Asian characters.
You are
I'm a beautiful
you're
Asian
digging
girl.
deep if the Twitter's getting hacked.
Oh man, it's
He's getting
And,
close.
Like I got a knock on.
twice in
Yeah,
one
like-
week.
Yeah.
know what
I
it-
got hacked, I got it fixed, and then it got hacked again.
It did happen right when the Free Britney stuff we were starting
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, but
Yeah, it's
not that crazy.
Maybe
it's
Jason's
pretty
getting... It's like those
intense.
80s movies when the
we go.
kid gets too close. You know what I mean?
Yep, this is me now on
Jason.
Twitter.
It's Jason now.
That is still my verified account.
Yep.
But
That's Jason now.
look at this.
Oh wow! What? Oh,
He's
you
a
like
beautiful
little hearts?
Asian girl.
Beautiful Asian
This is
girl.
Jason. Hi, Jason.
You have gorgeous eyes, by the way.
Thank you.
Both as Jason and as a beautiful Asian girl.
Dude, I want to translate one of them. Grab one of them and just translate it.
What-
Into
Hey, just-
what language?
All I
Just
know
go
is
to
that
Google.
we
You-
failed at this before.
One of the tweets, it's
Grab
all the
a
Asian
chunk
characters
of that.
except one word. It said sex. Yeah, there it is. It says sex is the
one
first
word
word. Yeah.
you translate.
I'll work. I'll try to work on this.
Yeah, can
while
you?
you guys
Yeah,
are talking.
copy that. Copy.
There's so many
just-
goddamn emojis. I can't even
Oh yeah, that's true. You can't
copy
find
it.
that.
You
Now-
think she's using a filter? I don't think so.
I dropped my gun.
Got him with salt.
You think she's using a filter? Did you just say?
Do you think?
No.
Does that mean you can't get on your own Twitter at all?
Can't
now?
get on it.
So you can't be a part of it. You can't.
No.
Like,
Remy's trying to help.
I'm a
him right
little
now.
thankful that it's
Yeah,
at
Remy's
least
on the
it's,
case.
at least it's this
will knock
girl
down the
and
door.
in this language, so it's obviously not me. Everybody's like, "Yo, you were hacked." How horrible it would be. Like, let's just use his likeness, his name, and then just tweeting the worst shit.
English, horrible jokes.
Oh,
like,
man.
just nasty.
Oh, all right.
Racist. What?
I'm a cat. Can anyone pick me up?
Stuff. No way. You didn't
Me?
have that
Hey,
planned
oh my
out?
God!
Oh, fuck.
The cat ears,
The
dude.
cat ears.
Oh.
I've been doing this.
Jesus.
Yo, I'm getting
What?
freaked out. Where's that
One of-
candle?
So one of
Shane's gonna get hacked. He's part of the conspiracy.
one of the
And
episodes we were
back
talking
down
about,
again.
Brent asked me, "What would your signal be to tell me if you needed help?" And we were
yeah,
going.
and I went like that.
People are sending us T-shirts and shit.
This is so much to fill him in on.
Oh my God!
Please get a
I'm a cat.
Now I'm
Can
a
anyone
little-
pick me up?
I'm a little
Yeah,
worried now.
now I'm a little
And I
worried.
just picked a random one. It detected in language
So-
as
Telling
Telling
Japanese.
you, bro.
So feels like it was
It's
planned.
real,
That's
man.
amazing.
About
Do we have the picture?
what is
because
that?
of Britney?
601 million. What is the result?
Oh boy.
It's just a different thing.
You
But
have
yeah,
to
so
do-
it detected his language as Japanese.
You have to do all of that now.
I just
Now
got
we translate the whole
goosebumps,
thing.
Jay.
So it's Japanese.
Japanese.
Okay.
I just got goosebumps from that. 'cause
I know, me
that was
too.
the
I'm
whole.
a
What would you
cat
do
fan.
with
Can
the
anybody
help?
pick
And
me
then we
up?
found this picture where Britney would do this thing with the snake on her head. So one of the covers of our episode was us
We're
doing
just
this
doing
as well.
it. But
Yeah.
then
And
then
somebody
he's
sent us
hacked again.
a video of her doing it. That's one of the things she would do in her concert.
Dude, Jay, I'm
I
so
mean-
mad at you. You got me too close to
Somebody-
shit. Like,
somebody
it's supposed
just-
to be a fun
Somebody
podcast.
just sent us a
This is now a detective.
Now
podcast,
Shane's
but
involved. Shane's fucked.
deep in it. Deep in it.
welcome.
Is my car gonna start
Cherry
when I
Blossom.
leave?
Well,
Public
hold on,
character
hold on.
Cherry Blossom.
I'm taking out the emoji. Yeah.
Public person.
Public
oh,
person. This is just her name.
oh, Cherry
Whoever this
Blossom.
is.
That's actually weird because that was my rap name.
Cherry Blossom.
Cherry
imagine?
Blossom.
Cherry
Yeah.
Blossom.
Wow, that is
LBC. Long Beach Cherry Blossom, man.
Yep, that's it.
strange. That is not exactly what I thought we would see. Things are getting a little real.
Weird. It's
Ooh,
getting
who's her friend?
real. I know.
Or is it just
twins.
her and I
It's
can't?
twins.
Okay.
She knows. I'm a therapist for men's.
Yeah,
Menza?
I don't know. But the cat one, the fact that was
That's
the
a
first
little-
random
first-
one, I mean, Jesus.
it's a
There's
little
more.
bizarre.
What if one of them you translated and it said, "Oops, I did it again."
Yeah,
Oh, man.
Keep it up, Jason, and you're fucking dead.
I know.
Or it
geez.
says I'm watching you, Jason.
right.
Wow, that is
That's-
so bizarre.
We can consider all day and do this, but.
That's my world.
All right, well, we're not.
I got a guy working on it right now for me that's trying to get it fixed and stuff. He submitted a thing and I had to make a whole new
Talking about
email
Rem?
for it. Yeah, Remy's
Yeah,
doing
he's a
it.
friend of
Yeah.
ours. I
Oh,
just
you know
told him
Remy.
that,
Yeah.
Remy's helping me out on it, but he's
Yeah,
you know,
he's a gorilla with
obviously
that
making
stuff.
he's obviously making fun of me the entire time.
Yeah, you would also do
Yeah.
that too. Yeah.
It's like, did you do a second authentication thing? I'm like, dude, I'm almost 50. What the fuck is that?
That's so funny to me.
You have to do everything for me.
Yes.
That's how I would say it. Yeah.
Oh boy. My God.
So now
So
you're,
ER, huh?
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
you did ER. That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Oops.
we're okay. COVID's fine, guys.
How long were you on that show, ER?
I did 3 years on that thing.
Let me tell you something about ER. And I
was
thought
fun.
about this because I've gone out for audition for a few medical shows. I don't think I could do it.
Oh.
Because every medical audition I've done, where it's like,
can't
give
say
me
the word.
CC Sisyphorus on the blast
can't
and
say
it
the
takes
word.
the
Sisyphorus?
push past in the
Brother's
bed.
a doctor, by the way.
Yeah, brother's a doctor.
I
He
know.
just speaks in dinosaurs. But I'm thinking like, and in the show, you always got to be walking and talking, and it's fast as well. So when people are going, "What do we got?" Shalom best on the force.
I can picture them
They're like, "Take it over, Brent. You
hiring
had a
Brent.
stroke."
Then they realize what they've done. So now they're like just telling you, just yell stat. That's all you have to do. They'll say the shit.
CC,
We
you
lost
just
that.
yell stat.
Because
Throw out a random number. It'll be all right.
I went in for a Marvel
Oh.
thing once. I think it was one of their TV shows, and I had to play a. I think it was like it had to be a scientist or one of, and I practiced so hard on the words, and they were like, he has to be smooth and quick, and he's too smart for his own good. One of those arrogant guys, and I was like, okay, and I'm nailing it, but I'm getting to like the more complicated words, and I'll never
Sweat.
forget.
Sweat.
Big casting director, never been back, been years, and
Oh, boy.
and I remember
Couldn't have
going
been
like,
that bad.
oh, if you keep that up, then maybe the neural shall like, and out loud I go, fuck. I practiced for so long that word.
Oh
And
no.
they laughed hysterically, and I went, "Oh, just simplify it, all of you." And they
Oh,
laughed,
well,
liked me, never saw him again. But
Oh man.
did you ever feel a little
Well,
like
oh,
those?
by the way, I've always said I would never have been cast in ER if I had to audition. I lucked out. I didn't have to audition because at the time I had, it was after, it was after League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Oh, I love that movie. By
And
the
then
way.
that was a fun one.
Connery.
Both did it.
Stories for
Sean Connery.
days.
I could imagine.
You weren't allowed to imitate his voice.
Of course you weren't.
Really?
But everyone did. But it was after that I was doing I started doing the Germs film and
Oh,
started
yeah.
touring around with that band, and then I got lucky, and then so ER came around then, and I think I had a general meeting. Apparently I had black nail polish on and a little bit of eyeliner or something like that from a previous show, and they liked the idea, and then they just took it and said, okay, he's this musician / intern
Got
coming in, which is a little hard to believe, but the fact that they cast me like that is the only way, because the hell I put myself through trying to memorize those lines
I bet.
that they will never know about because I lucked out and didn't screw up too much, but I had to study constantly. I would have choked on an audition.
And what they don't know is that interns have no time for an extracurricular life.
No,
Yeah.
no, not at all. By the way, the whole 3 years, I think I was done. I think I was out of the band by the end of the first season.
Okay.
Because the whole time I was like, this was cute, but let's start to push towards me being responsible.
Right.
Or getting fired.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
be fired because I just signed a 3-year deal. So I like
Yeah.
the show. So I basically get fired from the band. on the show.
Got it.
Yeah.
But also,
You're too busy being a doctor, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
We need you in the
Listen,
garage.
Man, listen, man, you're the coolest guy ever because you can do it all, but you gotta pick
She's
one.
like, who's the musician doctor out there?
But
That's gotta
let
be
me
tough.
ask you this though, because what people don't know at home is like when you go into a show that's already established with people that have been there for a while, it's
Yeah.
always a little.
Yeah.
It makes you insecure. You're already insecure anyway,
100%.
with all that language. Then you're coming into a place where people basically probably at this point think they're doctors. You know.
100%. Yeah, especially
You
on
know?
that type of show they've been on for so
man.
long. Yeah.
So are they fucking up words and they're not, and then it's getting to you? Like, was there ever a moment where you had to be like, here comes those syllables. Like,
Well, those syllables, all consonants. How do I say this? No, there was one episode 3, the third episode that I ever did. I don't honestly remember what I said, but I do remember it was like a Right Stuff shot where it was like a long hallway where there was no coverage. I say everything. The interns behind me, actually, I'm a first-year resident, so the interns behind me are telling me what they should do, and then I'm like, no, you do this, this, this. How about this? And they're like, nope, that's wrong. You do this, 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 until we pass the camera.
oh boy, there's panic attack for me.
It was panic attack, but I got it right. I got it
wow.
right every time.
Speaking Pig Latin the whole time.
Pig Latin, yes, totally. 4 takes in a row, I got it right, and I was
Oh,
so
that's
stoked.
amazing.
This never happens, but
Yeah.
there was a hair in the gate. You don't even hear that
Oh,
term
yeah.
anymore. But apparently, the next day, I had to go back and reshoot the scene because something went wrong with the filming of that scene. So they came back and it was or out of focus or whatever it might have been. So I was about to cry. I had to go back and do it again, and I got it right twice the next day. The first 2 takes. Then started choking.
Oh, yeah.
And then they were like, you know what, we're good.
think
We
we
got
got
it.
it. Yeah.
And I think they could tell I was just sweating. I was angry because I'd already
yeah.
gotten it right the first day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I had that, but Noah Wiley, who had been on the,
Yeah,
was like Mr. ER, he had a photographic memory, so he never
fucked up, and that's what would make me nervous. I need somebody like that to fuck up. Then I go, okay, so you
can
guys,
relax.
you guys fuck up.
Okay, we're all human.
Good.
We're all human.
Right.
Good, we're human.
Well, there was 3 different things you had to do. You had to look like you knew what you were doing. You had to get the damn dialogue right. Period. You also had to get the terms correct, and then you had to physically, and then and emote or act or whatever it was. So there would be times you got everything correct, and then there was a doctor on set, a real doctor on set. A doctor would come up
Jesus.
to the director and whisper to the director and go, he wasn't holding that correctly. And I'm like,
Wow.
bitch. And
You want me to hold it correctly on your throat? Get the hell out of here, okay?
Shove it straight up your. But
By the end of that, I'd be like, it's Dr. Shane West, please.
Yeah, I would be.
first year resident West. Thank you.
Honestly, that it's like what I was listening to Conan O'Brien's podcast, and he was talking to Tom Hanks, and Tom has done so many war movies. So he made a joke to Tom. He goes, "Do you ever think by the time you're old and senile, you're just gonna believe you were in these wars?"
I know. Dude, that last
Like, I
one
wonder
was
if Noah
awesome.
Wiley
You got
feels that way.
PTSD. Well, they did say there was the doctors on the set of ER. They said if any actor or actress from the 15-year run on that show, if they could feel comfortable with one of them actually performing a medical procedure, it would have been Noah,
That is absolutely insane to me.
because he took it that seriously. He was able to. They were like, I think he could pull something off. None of the rest of you guys can. But,
yeah.
but Noah, I believe, can.
And as they were probably talking to him, I'd be over there going, "Ow, God damn it.
What's he doing
This is a
now?
real scalpel."
Noah Wiley.
Yeah.
He's a doctor at
Doctor
Par-
now. What if
UCLA.
you Googled it?
Cedar-Sinai.
Veterinarian.
Yes.
He's a vet.
He's a veterinarian.
I want to get a little
Specifically
simpler.
with lions.
Just deal with animals. I don't want to deal with humans anymore.
Got a couple spade neuters today. Scat.
Spade.
All right,
Yeah, he's still acting.
I want to end with one thing. I want one Sean Connery story since it was brought up. Working on that movie, there's got to be like one that you
movie
could
was-
tell that's
that
not
movie
going to
was
be
so
that he's not going to
cool.
come beat the shit out of all of us because I assume he still can.
Oh no! I mean, God, there was a
Nice
You
guy,
were
though,
with
yeah.
him a lot.
We were there for. Yes, I was. Nice guy. Yeah. He was amazing. The problem with the movie was he had a big issue with the director, and the director had a big issue with him. So there was a lot of problems on the set because of that. But there was also, man, these were in the days, man. This was like a $80-90 million budget. Only movie I've ever done with that kind of expectations.
Yeah.
Which meant you'd go to set sometimes and like the weather wasn't great, so they'd say, "Screw it, go home. We'll do it tomorrow." Like waste of money, like waste millions of dollars. But he, he had his specific hours. So and Sean was older. I mean, I think he was 71, I think, when we did that. So I don't know
Damn.
what was he 80 something. But at one point he one of my favorite stories was honestly with Jason Fleming, great guy and brilliant actor that was on the show. He played Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and he was doing a scene. Sean is such a professional and such an actor. Like, he knows how to use the camera. He knows how to screw up in a scene and still get the scene correct, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
And one of those things was he would get his lines correct when the camera was on his face. So at times, so there was a scene where Jason and him had to like come in on camera, turn around, and then say a line. So Sean would come in and like num num shnum 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 shnum, and that's how the cookie crumbles or whatever the heck it was.
Right.
Wow.
And he would say it correct as he turned, and like literally on film, Jason was like, "What? You don't know your lines." He was like, "I bet you $100 you don't know your lines and you can't get this correct." And Sean goes, "You're on." So he goes out, he mumbles it all incorrect, turns around, gets it right, and looks at him on camera and goes, $100 while we're rolling. So blew that take. Then he goes, I guarantee I'm going to double this up, $200. Try and do it again. He gets it right. And in the film, I have to find the scene because I haven't seen it again. It'll always be on film. He says his line correct, and then he looks at Jason for no reason, gives him that eyebrow,
Yeah.
and then looks back and continues with the scene.
That's
Which was
great.
him saying,
I love
"Owe
that.
me money," and this is in the film.
Watching
Wow.
watching it tonight. I'm
This is
watching
just-
it.
it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I haven't
That's
seen that in
awesome.
a while.
I mean, he
like
was
that movie.
very he ended up being a really cool guy. The whole joke was in the beginning, he's a tough SOB, which he is. Don't make fun of his accent. Don't do all this. But I think because he was kind of like in a boys' club, and I was the only American. Like it was just a Scot, Irish, British, Indian, Australian, all over the place. That he soon just loved. We would go to dinner and people would just rag on him the whole time, and he would just sit there laughing the whole time. So he ended up
that's
being
good.
a great guy. Yeah.
That's
I
so
love
cool.
that. That's that generation. Well, I want to apologize for getting you involved in the conspiracies of Britney that we are starting to learn.
Totally
Are
screwed
you
up.
kidding? He's
totally
he's
screwed
in the
up.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah,
we
that's
could use
true.
him.
You're a sharpshooter. Why aren't you killing the goddamn fly?
True. That's well. I don't have my Winchester rifle.
Yeah,
right.
But I love you. I'm so happy to see you. Thanks for
too.
coming in, too.
Dude,
See,
and
he's a
thanks
stand-up
for
guy.
thanks for making episode 50 awesome.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I didn't
And
even know that.
at the
That's
end of
cool.
this episode, we're going to put the song you sent me. You texted me
okay.
the song.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
gonna
that's
put that
right.
at the end of this if you guys want to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I think it's only a couple minutes long. I was like, if you guys have a song, find a fast one.
Yeah,
there we go.
man.
Yeah.
So you can check
we'll-
that out.
we'll play
And if
that.
we ever get to be around people and go to concerts, then you could see that. Otherwise, it will all be virtual, and you
Mm-hmm.
can still have a concert.
Yeah,
But
man, we can
that was
do
fun. Sorry
Yeah,
for
man.
Brittany.
And
Thanks.
You
That
need
was
to get
a fun
a
time,
you need to
man.
get a crush, man. You need to.
Yeah,
man.
you need to
I'm
get a
working
crush.
on it.
See,
I'm working on
like
it.
as a
Other than me.
former,
Yeah.
as a former poster on the wall, you know, teen king, he even says you need a crush.
By the
Now,
way,
granted,
I-
he dated all the crushes,
I know.
but
I know.
The only poster I ever had on my wall was Mallrats anyway, so I didn't actually.
Nice.
See, all right.
But
it's a great one.
my crush was Courtney Cox.
Oh,
That's a
yes,
good one.
she.
Good
one.
Family
So
Ties.
hot.
I'm a brunette, dark-haired,
Mm-hmm.
dark-eyed girl.
Yeah.
That's why Phoebe Cates was big for me. And
Jennifer Love Hewitt. Oh,
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
yeah, we're all dark hair. We like the dark hair.
Mia
J-Love,
Sarah.
dude? J-Love,
Mia
you?
Sarah. Fuck Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sarah,
her name?
That was
So
Mia
beautiful.
Sarah.
Yes.
Mia
was
Sarah.
my
Oh,
crush,
she was
too.
beautiful.
Joanne Whalley. She married Val Kilmer. Willow.
Oh,
Joanne
man.
Whalley was
See?
See?
There's not one.
I know, guys. I'll get there.
I had a list. No.
Google it. Google what's my type.
Figure out what age you were at this time and who was popular at the time. Or like,
And then that Asian girl's going to pop up and go, hello, Will.
But it's gonna be the one from my Twitter.
I'm a kitty cat. And
I'm
then the
a kitty
computer
cat.
just freezes.
Awesome. Well, thanks, dude.
Oh,
thanks
thanks,
for having
man.
me.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
Bye.
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 We are friends, digging each other.